Hello, guys. I get to talk to you today about once in a lifetime. Like, aside of the fact that my face is oily, it is wonderful. Once in a Lifetime is a song, and I'll be brief. My children, my grandchildren were here, and being a music lover, they're always sharing their playlist with me. So I ended up having a what the hell playlist for my grandchildren, like City Girls, No Diss, but for children, it was a bit much. And they were listening to it on YouTube. And like I said, me being an artist, an ex-artist or whatever, it was overwhelming. And I said, Grandma is going to make you guys a song that y'all can listen to. We're going to be able to dance and whatever the case may be. And, but it's not going to be explicit. And I'm going to do that for y'all. So I ended up coming up with the beat, wrote the lyrics, and I just wrote what was on my mind at the time, So Once in a Lifetime was kind of like a cross between old music, new music, when I was younger versus where I am today. Old things, new things, the things that I have been grateful for, the times in my life when I couldn't see any type of way out. And just when I thought that there was no way out, there ended up being light at the tunnel. And I remember praying, saying, God, if you just show me the way on this particular situation, I'll forever be indebted to you, once in a lifetime. So that's where Once in a Lifetime came from. It was a personal experience. Puppies in the background. And we did a video where we used Yorkies of Austin. We used the puppies and the scenes for the video as well, the music video. But that particular scene, when I wrote the song, a few years back, many years back, I, being a single parent, had a son that got in trouble, and he was headed to prison. Every attorney that I talked to laughed me out of their office and told me that I was crazy because there had been so many things that had transpired that the best thing that they could do for me was give him a little bit of prison time, but not going to prison was not an option. And that broke me because I'd always been the type of person to be able to help. And I felt helpless. I'd always been the type of person that had some way to solve my children's problems. When you grow up and you're that only parent, you know that you're that everything. And when you get to a moment where you're helpless, it does something to you. So at the time, he was in a county jail, and I felt like I was doing time, like the money on the books from Barnes and Nobles, it just, the phone calls, just making sure that he could always call, it just wasn't enough, and I remember like going to court and get reset. I remember the judge just hammering down on what she thought the situation was and versus what it really was. And when our kids, especially in our community, when these children cannot afford a great defense, they get stuck with whatever they get. And they get stuck with people telling them, just take a plea and let's work on the time. We don't come from a background of what's the evidence, what does the case look like? Maybe you shouldn't take a plea. Do they even have a case? That kind of thing. And I'm getting on another subject, but long story short, my son, after many slam doors in my face, after many situations where people had me thinking that maybe I wasn't as strong as I thought I was, or maybe there was something going on with me, and it probably is, but still. My point is that at the end, all the tears, the blood and the sweat and the money that I didn't have, and it strikes me like yesterday, okay, even though it was a long time ago. But being helpless was just one of those things. And from that moment, I knew that my testimony would be great, that I would talk about that once in a lifetime. That once in a lifetime has so many meanings for me. It meant that once in a lifetime when my son, instead of going to prison, walked out of the Travis County Jail, okay? It has so many meanings of the time when And I'll tell y'all about this story at another time when I was facing death and I was covered in Jesus' covenant. You know, once in a lifetime is being able to love, being able to find the unconditional love that I found in the puppies, right? It's something I cannot explain. Yet I'm a breeder, but I'm different, you know? There's not a strike of love and care that doesn't go into these puppies before they go and make someone else happy or change someone else's lives or provide therapy for people that are in need, that were facing similar situations or just being broken, you know, period. And so that song, whether I hit every note or whether I did or didn't use tune, because I was told that as well, I don't care. It has a different meaning for me. And my goal was for it to reach other people. It didn't have to be perfect. And it was perfect for me, you know, because it was real. It was a piece of who I am and who I've become. And my life, the reason behind it, and then how we got to phase 1, the meaning behind it, how we got to phase 2, and then the video, you know. So I'm going to share with you guys the making of Once in a Lifetime video. It was so fun. We staged a repossession of a Mercedes-Benz. We recorded at the Greenbelt here in Austin, Texas, which is a very, very popular place. We started late, it got dark, so I was really scared for real. So I'll share that footage with you guys. My son was helping the cameraman. It was so, so exciting. So I hope that you can take away from my experience and what this means to me, and what Yorkies of Austin means to us, and this whole project that we put together. It's been maybe a year, maybe even 2 years, but with the pandemic, we just kind of slowed down. Couldn't really do much as far as promoting and different things like that, but we're back now, ready to tell our story, ready to share our experience with Yorkies of Austin, and me, you know, being an artist in the past and just still thinking I got it every now and then, and writing the music to be a positive influence for the grandchildren. So come on, let's start watching some of these scenes from the making of Once in a Lifetime.